In this tutorial we're going to talk about polygons. The reason we would need polygons within the RapMap tool is that it enables us to do this time series analysis. So there are three types of polygons. There are existing ones which are already preloaded. So an example of those is if you go into Australia, then go down to the boundaries, there's the NRM boundaries. So if I click on those, these boundaries appear. So if we wanted to do some analysis on an existing polygon, we can use these. Now there are different polygons of different sizes loaded in the system. If you don't want to do as large an area as an NRM, you might want to look at doing something smaller. So for example, local government areas. You need to wait a little while because there's lots of government areas. But as you can see, they sit within inside the NRM, so you may only want to do a small area of analysis. Again, there are more smaller areas within those. Again, there's what they call the statistical areas. And these all are small areas again. So you might pick a statistical area, and you can see they're now nested within the other ones. So if I turn those off, you can see they sit inside. So you can even do smaller analysis. So that's some of the existing polygons that exist within the system. There's also cadastre. So if you really want to get down to the lot level of a property, they exist as well. Okay, so they're the ones that exist within the system. But what happens if you want to draw your own polygon or create a polygon that you want to use time and time again? So the first one we're going to look at is how to just draw your own polygon. Now that is not actually loaded. It sits over here in the analysis tools section, and in this section you need to decide what analysis am I going to do. Do I want the mean total cover of a point or a region or a polygon that you're going to draw on a monthly time step, on an 8-day time step? Or do you want to look at the proportion of a region which has, say, greater than 50% ground cover, greater than 70% ground cover? And you can do that on the 8-day data or on the monthly data. So let's just start up here. All of these end up with this option where you have to put in a polygon name, and you can draw your own polygon. Once you click on that, it asks you to add your own polygon. So all that you do is just draw points until you're ready, and then that becomes your polygon. You say done. These are the lat and longs of that polygon, and then you can run an analysis on it. We'll do that in another section. So they're the polygons which are within the system. Now just make a point here. This polygon that we've just drawn can't be saved. These ones are all saved. So just be aware that if you draw a polygon, it's not saved. You can't use it again once you exit this session of the program. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how to import an existing polygon. So if you've already created a polygon, like a shapefile or a geojason, you can just drag it onto the desktop and it will load them. So let's do that now. I'll just turn off these so they don't look so much like they're in the way. And I've drawn a polygon, and I'm just going to drag it onto the system, and here it is. So this polygon is called Milliwa, because it covers a particular farming area that I look at regularly. So once again, I can now analyze this polygon time and time again. So the file I just dropped on was a geojason. Like I said, you can drop on a zipped shapefile. So this is a shapefile which is all zipped up. Drop it on the desktop, and then there it is. It drops it onto the desktop. And if you wish to zoom out, you can see these are all polygons for one project area that you might be working on. So it's not just a single polygon, it's a group of polygons. So that's one way of adding polygons to the system, and then you can analyze them. If you don't have access to ArcGIS, there's another way of drawing polygons. So I'm just going to turn this one off. So if you want to create your own file and then import it into RapMap, you need another program, and it's called geojason. So here's it's addressed up here, geojason.io. Once you type this into your browser, you can now draw a map, or sorry, you can now draw a polygon. So I'm going to turn on the satellite layer. You can do this for anywhere in Australia. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to draw something around this fire scar, which we can see in the landscape. So to do this, you say over here, you're going to draw a polygon. Click on that. And then you just start mapping out your fire scar. Now it can be complex, or as simple as you like. I'm going to make it simple now. And then when you're finished, you just click here. And that closes off the polygon. You want to save it, and you want to save it here. There's different formats, but the one that RapMap likes is a geojason. So save it there. It opens up a file, and I'm going to put it just to my temp file. So this is test fire scar. Okay, so I've now downloaded the file. So now I can just go back to RapMap, and then I drag that file on from my desktop. So I grab it from my directory, drop it onto the desk, and there is the fire scar. So now I can analyze this area in the future using exactly the same polygon time and time again. So that's how you create a geojason, and then you can use it going forward to do more analysis. That concludes this tutorial about polygons, and we'll start a new one using the polygons called analysis tools.